Welcome to the Horror Unmasked podcast,
where we unmask the monsters
and explore the lore.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Lily, and today we will be dissecting
Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Let's go to the circus. The story opens at Big Top Burger, where police officer Mooney gets some food before his Friday night shift. We then go to an area in the woods called the Top of the World, where a bunch of cars are parked and many couples are making out. Suddenly, an ice cream truck pulls up with a clown head on top, where Rick and Paul try to get some business. One of the guys, Mike, recognizes the brothers as his best friends before the truck leaves, and he continues to make out with his girl, Debbie. They then decide to look up at the stars, where they see something shoot across the sky and land somewhere near them.
Meanwhile, an old man and his dog also see the crash from his house and decide to go investigate. Once they get to the crash site, we see a huge circus tent. The old man and his dog get closer, and suddenly, the dog disappears. The old man gets angry about his missing dog and tries to punch the tent, but hurts his hand instead. In the middle of his breakdown, a creepy-looking clown comes up to the old man and shoots him.
Back at the police station, Officer Mooney argues with Officer Dave about a couple of kids he brought back, supposedly for public intoxication, littering, and disturbing the peace. Mike and Debbie finally make it partway to the crash site and decide to walk the rest of the way. When they make it to the circus tent, Debbie is immediately freaked out and wants to leave. But Mike wants to keep investigating. The couple finds the entrance and goes inside. The tent seems bigger and more weird on the inside.
That's what she said.
Nice. Go on.
The couple decides to go to the end of the hall and then leave. But while fucking with some buttons, ends up getting sucked into a doorway and finds themselves in a giant room with a big ball of electricity. Mike and Debbie make it back to the hallway, but when they hear something coming, they go through another door. In this room, they see a bunch of giant cotton candy cocoons hanging from these strange contraptions.
Debbie starts freaking out even more, suspicious of the cotton candy, thinking they're trapped inside the UFO and wants to leave. Mike tries to convince Debbie everything is fine and rips a hole in one of the cocoons, only to reveal the bloody and decomposing face of the old man. The couple then reveals two more faces of Joel and Bartow, before they hear someone coming and hide behind the body-filled cotton candy. When they are hidden, a clown comes down into the room, and while he's distracted, the couple runs back to the door and attempts an escape.
The clown sees them and grabs a gun before running after them. While Mike and Deb run down the hall and out of the tent, the clown shoots at them and popcorn hits them, covering their clothes. Another clown appears. They make a balloon animal dog that comes to life and begins chasing the couple down. Mike and Deb make it to the car and manage to escape, where they start planning what to do next. The two clowns who were chasing after them turn into an entire group of clowns who follow the car tracks and the signs into town.
The couple makes it to the police station and tries to explain to Officer Dave what happened, when Mooney comes in and starts calling bullshit. Mooney thinks this is just some ploy for Mike's friends to sell ice cream. Dave takes Mike and Deb back to his police car to investigate more. Back in town, a random civilian discovers a small puppet show happening in the park, but there's no audience. Suddenly, a clown pops up from behind the puppet stand and shoots the civilian.
In the middle of a convenience store, another clown has turned two more people into cotton candy and starts terrorizing the aisles. In the cop car, Deb and Dave start arguing about leaving her behind for safety reasons, where it is revealed that they used to date. A few other clowns show up at some girl's house with a fake box of pizza and zap her into cotton candy. We then see a montage of a bunch of more clowns showing up to people's homes and shooting them.
Deb, Mike, and Dave arrive at Deb's house, where they leave her before heading back to the circus tent. At the convenience store, a couple more clowns show up to cause more chaos, all while the store clerk seems very frightened and confused. Me too, dude.
Facts.
Dave and Mike end up back at the tent site to discover the tent is missing with a giant hole in the earth. Dave, getting automatically suspicious, handcuffs Mike and takes him back to the car.
In the middle of town, a small clown comes up on a biker gang where they start to harass him and smash his bike. The clown gets angry and puts on some boxing gloves, indicating he wants to fight the guy who destroyed his bike. And then he punches his head right off his body. It's so violent.
No, it is so violent.
It's so fucking violent.
And all of his biker gang friends like scurried away immediately.
Hell yeah. Man lost his head.
Oof.
Back at Big Top Burger, a little girl notices a clown outside and leaves to go say hi. What the fuck are you doing,
Right,
girl?
why would you do that? He's so creepy looking.
Ugh.
I would literally look at my mother and be like, yo.
What the fuck is that? Who is that?
And if my mom sat there and was like, oh, let's go say hi, I'd say, you're
Hell no.
stupid.
No, thank you. Before she is stopped by her mother and tells her to finish her food, Mike and Dave drive back to the top of the world, where Dave gets out and discovers some of the cars covered in cotton candy with no one inside. Suddenly, Dave begins to believe Mike again and uncuffs him.
At the station, Mooney is getting multiple calls about clowns attacking people all over town, but is still skeptical. Dumbass.
This man is so... He's
thinks
such a
the
dick
world-
in this film.
He thinks the world is so out to get him.
You're all just playing a prank on me. Fuck all of you.
Every single person in town? Okay.
Literally.
Back at Deb's house, she goes to take a shower, where all of the small popcorn bits are all over the floor and on her clothes. The laundry hamper with her clothes begins to rattle.
And the fucking popcorn on the floor starts to like inch away like a fucking earthworm. It's gross.
In the back of Big Top Burger, one clown sprinkles popcorn into the dumpster because he's so mischievous. One of the workers at Big Top goes out back to take the trash out when he hears the little chirps coming from the dumpster. When he gets closer, something pulls him in, and all we hear are his screams.
Yup, because
Popcorn
that's
is scary.
fucking terrifying. Mike and Dave are driving back to town trying to figure out how to handle the situation moving forward, when they come across one of the clowns at a bus stop doing shadow puppets on the wall.
The shadow puppets were actually kind of cool, though.
They were pretty fucking cool until, all of a sudden, the shadow opens up and eats everyone watching.
Yeah, that part
That's
I could have done
wild.
without.
Mike grabs the wheel and tries to hit the clown, but he jumps straight out of the way and disappears. Dave calls Mooney back at the station and tries to tell him to get help, but Mooney has had it with what he believes are still lies and cuts the connection. Again, a fucking idiot. How is it that so many people can fucking tell him, hey, yo, something's terrible going on and there's a bunch of fucking clowns doing shit?
Nah, but you are all pulling a prank on me.
The whole town?
The whole town hates me. I'm like, I mean, the way you're acting, maybe it is true.
100%
that they would do
this
to
man
you.
fucks around and 100% finds out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right before they start heading back to the station, the ice cream truck comes barreling down out of an alley, and Mike decides to go after his friends, while Dave goes to the station. Mike runs around the corner to find the ice cream truck crashed and tries to tell Rick and Paul everything that has been going on, managing to convince them to go to Debbie's house. While at the station, Mooney lets the phones ring out of control when a clown comes in and sprays him in the face with flowers.
Mooney decides to lock the clown up. So fucking I can't even make it through the sentence because it's so fucking stupid. Mooney decides to lock the clown up with the two guys he arrested earlier. Dave finally arrives at the station to find the power is out and a bunch of clown footprints that lead to the cells. Dave finds many footprints all over the walls and the floor before looking in the cell to see the two men who were arrested wrapped in cotton candy cocoons.
That's a mouthful.
That is
That's
a
tongue
fucking
twister.
mouthful,
Cotton
100%.
candy cocoons. Cotton candy cocoons.
When Dave goes back to the office, the clown is sitting in Mooney's chair, using Mooney's body as a puppet. Dave shoots the clown's nose, causing it to explode and die.
That is the one scene in this whole movie that is genuinely creepy.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Him, when he pulls his hand out of his fucking back and just kind of shakes the blood off.
Yep.
Yo, that 100% out of the whole film, that is the most disturbing scene.
Yes,
I agree. There.
Dave is able to connect with more officers and call for help before going back to Debbie's house. While the Ice Cream Brothers and Mike head back to Deb's house as well, they stumble on a type of parade happening in the middle of town, where the clowns are using a machine to suck up all of their cotton candy wrapped victims. At Deb's house, she has finally finished her shower when she hears strange noises coming from the laundry basket. All of a sudden, we see what the popcorn has turned into as these small clown-like creatures attack her from every corner of the bathroom.
Including the toilet.
Yep.
Because, Debbie escapes and runs to her living room where she hears Mike at the door. However, when she opens it, one of the clowns is impersonating Mike's voice. Debbie tries to escape, but her house is surrounded by clowns who ends up zapping her into a strange balloon bubble. When the brothers and Mike actually pull up to Deb's house, they find that the clowns are about to leave with Debbie still in the balloon.
A chase breaks out between the clowns and the ice cream truck. Dave sees this and begins to follow in his cop car as well. The brothers think the cops just want to pull them over and stop. Why, I don't know.
Yep.
Causing Dave to crash into them and the clowns to escape. Dave joins the ice cream truck and the group head to the amusement park, where they think the clowns moved their tent. The clowns who kidnapped Debbie arrive at the amusement park, where a cop tells them to leave, but ends up getting pied to death as his skin begins to melt into a pile of goo.
Spoiler warning, skip ahead. The ice cream truck arrives and the gang heads through the amusement park. After exploring for a while, the group comes across a door, but before they can go in, Rick and Paul silently fall into a ball pit. Mike and Dave are about to go through the door when they discover the Ice Cream Brothers have disappeared. When the brothers try to get out of the pit, 2 female clowns are sitting on the edge waiting for them.
All sexy like.
Yeah.
And their boobs grow bigger. It was weird.
like balloons.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Mike and Dave continue through the door where Mike realizes they've made it into the tent.
Mike leads them to the cotton candy cocoon room. Okay, that's even more of a tongue twister.
Hell yeah,
Cotton candy cocoon room. Cotton candy cocoon room. Anyway, to look for Debbie when a clown comes in. The guys hide as the clown goes up to the cocoons with a giant bendy straw and sucks out the contents of one of the cocoons. When the clown leaves, Mike and Dave find the balloon with Debbie inside and shoot her out. Before they can try to rescue other people that might be alive in the cocoons, more clowns come and begin to chase them.
Mike is able to shoot and kill some of the clowns as they run away and try to lose the rest of them. The clowns have almost caught back up when the group escapes through a tiny door into a large room. The group continues to run, but are stopped by all of the clowns coming at them. The group manages to climb on top of some blocks to get away. As the ice cream truck bursts into the room with the giant clown figure on top of the truck, the brothers try to convince the other clowns to let the group go. It seems to work as Mike, Deb, and Dave climb down and make it to the truck.
All of a sudden, from the top of the middle of the tent, a gigantic clown comes down and starts to run at the truck. All of the other clowns disappear, seeming to be afraid of the giant clown. Mike, Deb, and Dave run away, but Rick and Paul stay to try and protect the truck. The giant monster clown picks the truck up with Rick and Paul inside and throws it across the room, where the truck explodes. The clown monster starts chasing the rest of the group when they discover an exit and try to escape. Mike and Deb manage to get out, but Dave stays behind, trying to stall the monster clown.
Outside, all of the officers that Dave called for help arrive on the scene while the clown tent begins to lift into the air and leave. Inside the tent, Dave has been picked up by the monster clown, but uses his police badge to pop it right in the nose, killing it and setting him free. Because of this, the entire tent explodes into a burst of fireworks. One of the clown cars lands next to the cops, and Dave comes out unharmed along with Rick and Paul. The whole gang is reunited, and all of the clowns were destroyed. The end. All right, well, this was a fucking movie.
It was a movie.
Yes, it was.
The second time I watched it, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it more.
You enjoyed it more?
I don't know why. I don't think it's the best movie I've ever watched. No, not at all.
It's one of those movies that is it's so bad it's good.
A little bit.
Because
there's
there's movies that are just bad.
Yeah.
And then there are movies that are just so bad that you can't help but love how dumb they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Alrighty. So
also, sorry for my goopiness.
Yeah.
It was...
Guess who's sick now?
Hey.
Oh, that's just disgusting. And because of that, I'll leave that in.
Nice, thank you. All right.
Alrighty. So this movie was released May 27th, 1988.
Mm-hmm.
The director is Stephen
Kyoto?
Kyoto.
I want to say it's Kyoto.
Stephen?
Stefan? I don't know. That's my dad's middle name, and it's spelled like that, and he pronounces it Steven, so.
Stephen or Stefan?
Doesn't matter. Stephen Chiodo or Stefan Kyoto. Who knows?
Stephen Kyoto.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going with.
And the budget for this film was actually $1.8 million
Which, honestly,
to $2 million.
Isn't a lot.
No, it is not. And it was distributed by Trans World Entertainment. And our lovely, lovely cast.
We have Grant Kramer as Mike. His last name is Tobacco.
I know. It just makes him sound faker as a human.
Yeah, Mike Tobacco.
Yep.
Suzanne Snyder as Debbie Stone. Charles Kyoto, one of the director's brothers, as Jojo the Clown.
Yep.
The big giant one at the end. We have John Vernon as Curtis Mooney. And John Allen Nelson as Dave Hansen.
Michael S. Siegel as Rick Terenzi.
Okay.
Peter Lacassi as Paul Terenzi. So we have the Ice Cream Brothers as they were a part of the final crew.
Yeah. It's got a runtime. Wait, in the box office, it made $43 million, and it has a runtime of
Holy
88
shit.
minutes. Yeah, yeah.
They kicked ass, technically, compared to the cost of what they had.
What's strange is that they say it was a flop, so I'm a little confused.
What was its rating?
It's got a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes, which honestly isn't bad.
That's not bad.
But when I was doing research for this, the brothers all said that it was a flop when it first came out.
Honestly,
and I guess it's just gained more traction over
doing
time.
a lot of the research, it definitely seemed like it became cult, but it was not successful. But yet it was successful. It was such a weird conundrum to that.
I also want to start adding something if I can, but the music is by John Mazzari.
Yeah, go for it.
Because that's a little important later. So
yeah, music is music. Go for it.
Yeah, I love music. We love that.
And speaking of music, actually that really works out for the first thing that I have here.
Yeah.
Is that the theme song that's at the beginning of the title screen was written by the Dickies.
Yeah.
And it was only based on the title. They did not read the script.
Or watch anything from it.
No.
I liked that song.
They literally...
It was good.
Saw the title and then made the song.
It was a good song. I remember the movie coming on and us being like, okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
And that's just based off of the title. Shit.
If we're gonna keep talking about music,
yeah, go for it.
Basically, the main guy who wrote the score, John Masseri, he wrote most of this music when he was in high school before he even knew that this movie was gonna be a thing. So
it just kind of worked out together.
Yeah, but the thing is, he wrote this when he was in a band in high school, and his bandmates didn't like it. And so he just kind of put it on the back burner because his bandmates were like, no, it sounds too much like jazz. No, that's okay. So he saved it and used it for this movie.
That's pretty crazy.
He also wrote music for the Friday the 13th sequel, Jason Lives. But they rejected it. He tried to write music for the trailer, but they said no and ended up still using that music for Killer Klowns from Outer Space, I think.
So he tried doing stuff for Friday the 13th, and then it just fucking didn't work out, And so he did Killer Klowns.
Yeah. For Clownzilla's entrance instead. That's what it was used for. Yeah.
You know.
So he tried to write music for his band. They rejected him. He tried to write music for Friday the 13th. They rejected him. So you know what? He just kept saving it and put it to different use, which just proves like, hey, if you do something and like someone doesn't like it, that doesn't mean
just keep it on the back burner because someone else might like it.
Someone else might, yeah.
And it worked out because it's like the music fit the movie, but he's had it longer than the movie was in concept.
Yeah.
So that's even crazier.
Yep, exactly. I thought that was pretty cool.
Hell yeah. All right. So you know the scene when the farmer is like going to his house to retrieve his shit so that he can go get the meteor? The meteor that he thinks is actually the tent. If you pay attention, you can clearly see the prop master through the screen door passing him.
No
the
way.
Props. You can actually see the prop master in the film passing him his prop.
No, that's kind of funny. I would have been like, yo, I made it.
Facts.
As a prop
like,
master.
oh shit, it's me.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be
they
mad.
did not edit that out.
Yeah. Be like, hey, it's me. Wait, why am I there?
Hope to God no one else notices.
Is my name in the cast or?
I know, right? I'm a pivotal character. Thanks. So this was a fascinating piece that I found out was, okay, so you know how like the way that each of the clown rooms and all that kind of stuff and like that whole space of the clown's ship. So for cost reasons, the interior of the spaceship was made like modular. So it was like a Tinker Toy design. So they literally had various elements that were built that could be put together in different ways to make different rooms rather than designing and building multiple sets. They literally just took pieces and swapped them around.
That's pretty cool.
So it was like kind of a combination of Memphis design and Dr. Seuss is how they referred to it as.
Okay.
And that's pretty cool. The idea that like they would take pieces in and out and then make a whole new room just so that they weren't like going over in costs and stuff.
I feel like that's a smarter way to do it.
Yeah.
Just so you're not wasting.
And it's an easy space to kind of do that because it's like a spaceship. And then it's funny because you actually had this in there. So that really worked out. Is during the production, the executive actually asked them to have more clown mayhem. And that resulted in the door-to-door scenes.
Yeah.
Of them going to different places, like zapping different people.
A whole bunch of montages of them like
exactly
going to multiple people's doors.
Doing weird shit. And yeah, so they also shot more destruction of that drugstore that they initially had where the clowns were in there like fucking up the shit in the aisles.
Yeah. I just think it's so chaotic and that's really funny.
They filmed more of the destruction back in Hollywood because the actual drugstore location that they were using, like the principal piece, which was in Santa Cruz, would not allow them to make a bunch of mess.
Oh.
So they ended up having to make the set in Hollywood of it.
Okay.
So that they could actually like really thoroughly.
I'm sure that cost a little bit of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the other thing that was fascinating is because they rented cars. They rented cars and they fucked up both of the cars that they rented.
I read about this.
Because one of them, I guess, was supposed to just like roll to the edge, but it actually crashed. It actually like crashed off the edge.
Is that one of the cop cars?
Yeah. And then this other one was the Jeep, the one that's up at the top of the world.
Yeah.
It was covered in the cotton candy webbing because it was loaned to the production by a local car dealership. And they were told by the effects department that if they sprayed the Jeep with Pam, then the webbing wouldn't permanently stick and could be wiped off. However, the solvent in the webbing caused major damage to the inside of the car, particularly to the seats and the finish.
No.
This necessitated $3,000 in repairs at a different dealership before they could return it back to the original one.
That's so funny. Although that's not the most money that they spent. The most money, I don't know if you have this.
Yes, I do.
Yup.
One of the weapons.
Yup. The popcorn gun. Yup.
$7,000.
Yeah, and it took 6 weeks to build. But it actually fired popcorn.
Yes, it did.
It actually fired popcorn.
Which was pretty fucking amazing, honestly. Like, that's such a cool piece.
Yeah.
That would be such a cool piece of movie memorabilia. That would be so dope to have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yes. This kind of makes me sad because now that I wish back in 2019 I actually took the Killer Klowns house seriously at HHM, but I did not.
Yeah.
I went through it and I was like, okay, it's kind of scary, but I'm not a Killer Klowns fan because I'd never seen it before and I thought it was stupid.
It's the same thing like fucking the black phone, man.
Okay, well, the black phone is different because...
That breaks my heart. I want to go through that house again so bad.
I know.
I just want to get it and be able to cheer with them.
Right?
And all that kind of stuff.
I know.
Oh, it would have been so nice.
It's okay.
Anyway, here's something fucking weird as shit.
Okay.
Which made me laugh when I was looking it up. So Debbie's shower scene
Yeah.
lasted for 20 minutes of screen time.
What?
And potentially covers hours of time in the chronological path of the film.
That's what it seemed like because they kept doing little snippets
Yes.
of it and then like
It is
not showing the full thing.
possibly the longest shower scene in the history of cinema.
What?
Because
Okay.
she literally got... This is reminding me of Until Dawn.
Oh God. Oh,
This
her
is
bath.
She spent 4
Sam's bath.
hours in the bath.
She did.
She spent 4 hours in the bath.
She did.
Not heard a word or peep from any of her friends at any fucking point in time.
Nope.
And she just was in the bath.
Except when that Wendigo was watching her. Woo.
Yeah. I'm just like, for realsies.
Who spends that much time in the bath? 30 minutes and I'm done.
Well,
Anyway.
I'm like a 40-minute person. I'm a long showerer.
The shower, yeah. But I mean like sitting in the bath.
Oh, hell no.
Just sitting in the bath. Yeah, I'm good for like 30 minutes and then I'm ready to get out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And then also your comments about JoJo, the big boy clown and everything.
Yeah.
So it was actually, the filmmakers had a shit ton of homages to other types of films.
Yeah.
So this one was a homage to like early kaiju films such as Godzilla and Gamera.
Oh, yeah.
And it ended up working out really well because the title leader of the clowns, yes, is JoJo, but it's JoJo the Clownzilla.
Yeah.
And it was actually portrayed as a classic rubber suit style with a miniature model of the set built to create the illusion of it being massive. So it was actually portrayed by Charles Kyoto, was actually in the suit.
Yeah.
And even though it was originally intended to be a stop motion piece, they ended up actually having him, a person in the suit, and then made it look like a perspective thing, which was pretty
really
freaking cool.
It was really cool because I really thought that they somehow got
Like a giant fucking...
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was like, how on earth did they do that?
Yeah.
The more you know.
And I mean, all of the clowns were pretty fascinating because they made 4 molds, which were for the main clowns. One was like a peanut shaped, another was a triangle, circular, and then the final was like an inverted triangle. And for those 4 molds, the effects artist produced 2 clown characters for each shape. And then obviously Clownzilla had its own mold for its appearance. And it was really cool because the masks had animatronic aspects to them, giving the clowns the expressions and creepy ass faces
how they were able
and stuff.
to like blink and stuff and like because their eyes are not normal shapes or they're not like human eyes. Like they're clearly animatronic something.
Exactly.
Which made it real creepy.
So basically to bring them to life, they devised a system of mechanical controlled cables to enable him to change the facial expressions of each of the masks on camera. So they had the mechanics and stuff so that they could get those different expressions. So that's why they were able...
How did this movie only cost what it did?
1.8 to 2 million? Hell, I have no fucking clue. But because here's the thing, because a lot of the cost of the film itself was actually being used for finance, shooting permits, rental vehicles, and the materials. So not necessarily for like the creatures and everything else.
That's so weird.
And it's wild because so apparently there have also been other aspects of the film. So because you were talking about the gun.
Yeah.
So another thing that was like a weird object that they used in the film was that balloon dog that they made.
Yeah.
They actually kept having a problem with it because the legs of it kept popping. So to stop it from breaking during each take, they actually coated the legs in latex and then solidified them with a hairdryer so that it would actually survive longer over the set.
That's such a strange issue to have.
I made a real balloon dog and its legs keep popping on the ground.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Cover it in latex.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's going to fix it.
At a certain point, I could tell that it was like off the ground a little bit. Like in the movie, I was like,
to kind of protect it a little bit.
Now that I know that, I know that was
like
the
it makes
reason.
sense for it. So kind of touching back on the statement that like it had a lot of references to other kinds of films and it has a lot more to do with like tropes of other films because obviously it's like that Godzilla thing. So, this is part of the reason why it's got such that cult appeal and why it survives for so long is because it holds essentially a funhouse, as they refer to it, mirror to the horror and sci-fi genre.
Yeah.
Because it's like transforming the pods from Invasion of the Body Snatchers into cotton candy cocoons and paying homage to the Blob and various zombie genre touchstones.
Yeah.
Because, like, instead of a bullet to the head, the clowns can only be stopped by being shot in the nose. Like, you know, there's those more fun and subtle ways that they were brought into it.
Yeah.
Another interesting aspect that I found out is that apparently there have been several efforts trying to revitalize the film itself.
Yeah.
And to like, they wanted to have like more parts, more films. They literally did like, they tried to get a 3D sequel, and even Sci-Fi ended up getting the rights for it because they thought they were going to make a TV show, and even that didn't happen. And the only thing that's come of the Killer Clown genre, at least of recently, is that they now have a video game.
Yeah.
That's the Killer Klowns. But, you know, it's also weird that all of a sudden Killer Klowns got a video game.
Yeah.
For something that, I don't know, like, I know at Spirit Halloween that they usually have Killer Clown stuff. But like, at least over like the last year and stuff, because Universal had the houses and stuff for Killer Klowns, which would have merchandise. Because this year at Spirit Halloween, they actually had like a animatronic of a killer clown and stuff like that. So I think that was pretty interesting that it got like a very sudden resurgence of interest being brought to it, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, but apparently they've been putting ideas together for the past 35 years, even though like nothing has come of it.
Yeah.
And that's really surprising to me that nothing has, because of how popular it has become. Because a lot of people really do enjoy this movie. And
yeah.
Even though it is so...
Because it's campy and fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the main reason why they like it. You know? It's this alternative, weird visual of comedy and horror all mixed into one weird package of clowns. Because even the director, originally this was just going to be called Killer Klowns.
Yeah.
But they added from outer space because they didn't
want it to be another slasher movie. Yeah.
And they also didn't want it to be taken so seriously either. They wanted there to be that camp and weirdness.
For sure. But I'm just still surprised at the budget, because the amount of clowns in this movie is
There's
insane.
so many fucking
There
clowns.
are so many. Like, I have the list of all of them.
Go for it.
It's the main ones are Jumbo, Shorty, Rudy, Slim, Chubby. Those are the main ones. And then you've got Fatso, Spiky, Bibbo, Joe, Magori, Talls, Storefront, Frank.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that one of them is named Storefront and then
did.
Frank? when you've had Bibbo as a fucking clown so far. Like, I'm sorry. What? Who made that choice? Mike, are you dying?
A little bit. There's also Boko, Rosebud and Daisy, the female killer clowns who may have sexually harassed the Terenzi brothers.
I mean, at the end of that film, they had like kiss marks and they were slashed to shit.
Yep.
So I don't know what they were doing.
There's also the baby killer clowns, obviously, with the long necks.
Yep.
The long fucking necks. Obviously, there's Baldo, and then obviously Clownzilla, also known as JoJo. So there's
A decent fucking
1,
chunk.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 19.
Damn.
There's almost 20 clowns in this film, each of them looking
That is
completely different from each other.
So many fucking clowns.
That's so many. I was watching this movie, I was like, how did they come up with a different concept for each one?
Yeah. Like a different design, a different look. Yeah. Even though, like I said, that it was literally the same 4 fucking molds. They just somehow managed to make them feel so different.
Like paint them and give them different heights and shapes and, outfits.
Fucking special effects, my dude.
Really cool, really cool. I think my favorite one is Shorty. I think my favorite one is Shorty.
Why? Because he
just fucking knocked a dude's head off.
I was about to say.
Yeah. That one.
Because guess who I was about to say and why my reason was?
Shorty?
Because he knocked someone's fucking head off. Bitch was mad. You fucked with his bike.
Yeah. But Bibbo is the most he's the most common clown in the movie, with the yellow mohawk and the red suit. Apparently.
Yeah.
But I love that name, Bibbo.
Bibbo.
Oh, there are brothers here. There's Boko and Baldo. They're brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's
because fucking clowns.
There's so many. But apparently, in trying to like come up with this movie idea, basically Steven was just like, oh, well, let me sit here and imagine the most terrifying scene that I can think of. And apparently that included a clown. So he was like, it was a clown driving next to me on a mountain road.
Yep.
A clown being where he shouldn't be, was frightening, was eerie, was creepy. That started the brainstorming that led to Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I don't agree that is the scariest thing.
No, we know what's the scariest thing.
I don't know. It's
our scariest thing is that fucking cop scene.
Ooh.
Because that
was creepy. That was
unsettling and uncomfortable.
But basically there was a study done as to why people find clowns so terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's similar to that like Uncanny
Valley stuff, which is blowing up right now.
What? Why? No.
Uncanny Valley is so popular right now.
No, thank you. But I found out that clowns do their makeup in a very specific way, and I guess so the colors that go into that depict like infection or injury, because it's like stark white with like blots of red, and even can like provoke a feeling of disgust.
Yeah.
And it's also how unpredictable that their behaviors are.
Yeah.
And even if they're like frowning, they have a painted smile on. You can't really tell what they're feeling.
Yeah.
So it's very like threatening to people.
It makes me think about the movie Smile that we did.
Yeah.
The idea that like there's that menacing feeling.
For sure. Yeah.
Which is understandable because it's colorophobia is the fear of clowns.
What's it called?
Colorophobia.
Interesting. Yeah, that's
because it's even like the blacks and the blues and stuff like that.
It by Stephen King.
Yeah,
came out like just before this, like the book did, I believe. So, but it wasn't like based off of that. It was just like
kind of like it worked out.
Like the idea of clowns
being creepy,
like in a book sense. But what really solidified that was obviously John Wayne Gacy.
Oh yeah,
when he performed as Pogo the Clown at
yep
kids parties and charity events, and
yep.
So I think that is where Stephen King pulled his inspiration. So the idea of creepy clowns came a little bit before this movie, but there was a poll in 2016. This was crazy to me.
Yeah.
There was a poll in 2016 that said Americans are more afraid of clowns than a terrorist attack or even death.
Damn. Shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
That is crazy. Is crazy to me.
I mean, well, wasn't also like in that same time period, we were going through a weird spell of people.
Yes, it was it's known as the clown attack craze. Lots of movies had come out, like It Chapter 2 and The Joker came out around that time. So it was just a lot of that. And I think during that time was the year that a bunch of the people dressed up as clowns and were like terrorizing the streets and stuff like that.
Yeah, like standing outside of people's homes and fucking, some of them even like
actually
got into their homes and stuff.
Were like terrorizing people.
Oh yeah.
So clown attack craze very clearly related in 2016 to that poll. Why people were so afraid of clowns over death and dying?
Because I don't think I'm one of those people.
I'm not either. I'm afraid of death way more than I'm afraid of clowns, please.
Facts.
But what really got me was there was a documentary about a Florida man.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea this existed until just now. Or maybe I did and I just...
Oh, we got a Florida man?
I just pushed it back into the back of my mind because it was so traumatizing. So it's a guy, a Florida man, who...
Florida man?
Yep. His name is Wrinkles the Clown.
Ah.
Wrinkles the Clown. You can hire him to terrify anyone you want, and he'll do it.
What the fuck?
And apparently, okay, so he's a 69-year-old retired man.
Okay.
And he'll even go terrify your kids.
He's like, I'm going to go in the business of fucking scaring people.
No, yeah. But apparently, at least back in 2015, there was a point where he was getting hundreds of phone calls a day.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I don't know, but there's a documentary out about him that like explains more in depth.
That's insane. That's so like
I looked at a picture of this guy. I about shat my pants.
Oh my God.
He is scary. He is scary looking. I would like why anybody would hire this person to go scare someone that bad. You must have really fucked up because he is really creepy. And
I need to see a picture of him.
I will pull it up. I will pull it up.
Because I need to know what the fuck he looks like. I need to see this man. Because I need to know now. Oh shit, I know about him.
Yep.
Holy shit, I recognize his face.
Scary as shit. He looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre in clown makeup. Like, that's what it looks like. And it's so absolutely unsettling. Like, I hate it so much.
Oh my God, I can't believe I recognize that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
I didn't realize that I thought he was for like a movie or something. I didn't realize that he was just a real dude who just goes around and fucks with people.
No, it was a real guy.
And is paid to fuck with people.
Yeah. Hundreds of calls. Like, this man like made a living, probably, off of this for a while.
Fucking made bank.
Like, I don't know if he's still doing it. He was 69 back in 2015.
Yeah,
so he's like deep into his 70s at this point. So if he's still going around scaring people in a clown outfit, I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah,
to be honest. But yeah, it's crazy out here with the clown stuff.
Yeah, that's insane.
And why people are so scared of them and where it comes from. And yeah, I really do think it started with John Wayne Gacy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it probably did.
Back in the 70s, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Because the 70s were serial killer heaven.
Yeah, because he really just dressed up as a clown and pretended to be all nice and stuff, and then was evil and murdered little boys.
Yep, because that's what life was like back then.
It's crazy.
Like, we still have serial killers today.
Yeah.
But it is nothing compared to what it was back then.
Now we just have mass shooters is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. Like,
Yep.
People don't hide that shit anymore.
Nope. No, they do not.
They just go out and do it.
Nope. Ugh.
Why? I have no clue. Why the romanticizing of killing people is a thing?
It's so gross.
I will never know. I say this as we have a horror movie podcast.
Yeah.
Where most movies romanticize that. But
talk about real world shit.
You heard it here first. I do not approve of the romanticizing of murdering people and torturing them. But it's fun to watch some fake stuff because you know you're safe the whole time.
Yep. It's playing with fear.
Yep.
So I'm going to pose you a question.
Okay.
I almost feel like it's a guarantee just because the It book did come out ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just... So clearly the fucking killer clowns from outer space must be insectoid to some degree.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true.
And this mainly is because I was thinking about it because he takes a straw and drinks from a cocoon.
Yeah.
The cocoon breaks the person down.
Yeah.
And it just makes me think of spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Because spiders wrap up their prey.
Yeah.
And then it
breaks
liquefies.
Mm-hmm.
And then they liquefy it.
And then they just suck out the contents.
So I'm like, why is it that people like to make clowns aliens that are insects?
Oh yeah, because it is kind of
it's a fucking
he's kind of insect-like in some
insectoid
forms that he poses as.
I mean, that's his big climactic shit.
That is true.
Like,
I'm trying to think of another instance where that is also true.
Like they tend to have a lot of insectoid.
Yeah, they
themed.
probably got some inspiration from that for sure.
But the idea that they chose to have that we had two clowns very close to each other in creation. Both be clowns and both be insectoid.
Yeah.
Is wild.
Right. I feel like one is definitely more serious. Obviously, Stephen King's It is more like actually terrifying, whereas this one is like, ha ha
ha, you're a little weird.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just it's interesting. I would definitely be down to see a newer.
No, me too. But I would still want them to keep like actual effects, like instead of CGI. Like
do the hybrid.
Yeah.
Hybrid mentality of using them in tandem with each other.
Yeah, I would actually want to watch a newer version of this movie. But
like even if it is just called, I don't know, would you still want to have like I don't even care if it's not the same director. I don't care if it's like a whole new cast of individuals and all that kind of stuff.
No, I don't either.
If it's just a new concept involving that, you know?
Just to see what they could do with it now.
Yeah, with the technology that we have. They could be so creepy.
Like, if they can do that at $1.8 million...
What the fuck would
80s,
they imagine having with the money that some of these films have now?
It could either be a really big flop or actually really good. I don't see it being... mid.
It's wild. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you got some 1-star reviewsals?
Oh, for sure. Always. All right. First one. Lame-o. I think this bomb was supposed to be a comedy, but that assumes laughter would be involved. And you know what they say when you assume. Bottom line, not funny. Not even mildly amusing. It is, however, stupid. But it isn't a total loss. I mean, after this experience, I now have a new appreciation for the root canal. Honestly, if you're 3 years old and under, I suppose you may find something funny in this thing, but I doubt it. Of course, if you are 3 years old, the clowns may be a bit too scary for you, so really that leaves nobody who should find this bore fest funny. If you're really that bored, paint something and watch the paint dry. You get just as many laughs out of it. Save yourself. Just avoid this turkey at all costs.
What the fuck? Okay. This is just like the weirdest. That's such a weird.
And it was written with like the weirdest grammar I've ever seen. There's like no spaces in between any of like the punctuation. It's like period next word, comma next word. I don't know.
That's such a weird. It's so fucking weird.
I want to know where he got an appreciation for a root canal.
I know my brain could only think back to fucking Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
Where did root canals come in?
Because maybe he did watch Little Shop right before he watched this.
Also, what psycho laughs while watching paint dry?
His point was probably that he didn't laugh at all during the movie.
I'm like,
so he'll get just as many laughs out of it.
If you thought it was stupid, to some degree you would laugh at it.
Right.
For being stupid.
I love just avoid this turkey.
That's just weird.
Just avoid this turkey.
What decade did that come out? Did they write that review? Because I'm like...
Honestly, it was probably the 90s. I think I remember looking at it and it was like, maybe.
That's so weird.
I have no idea.
It's such a weird review.
It was weird. Next one. This movie is neither funny nor campy, and all the people responsible for this piece of gutter sludge must have been the same who used to eat their glue in elementary school and turn their eyelids inside out just to gross everyone out.
I'm sorry, who the fuck didn't attempt to turn their eyelids inside out? I could not do it. That shit's hard.
I couldn't either. Like, I would try it, but like I would be so jealous of
and
the
the
kids
fuckers
who could.
you'd be like, God damn.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah.
But you go for it.
Right? I love gutter sludge.
Yeah, gutter sludge.
Gutter sludge is good.
That's such a good insult. Ugh, I like that one.
Yeah, it was good. The next one is pretty short, pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Kill the clowns from outer space, please.
I mean,
that is the whole goal.
they kind of did that.
If you watch the movie like to the end,
I mean, it happened.
it did. You know,
You should add like thank you
right,
to the start of that and remove the please
right,
because that happened. Weird.
I don't even know if I want to read this next one. It is so long and just, you know what, I'm gonna go for it and let's see how it goes.
Hell yeah, go for it.
This flick is filled with cheesy dialogue, horrid direction, deplorable acting performances, and the most inane script I've ever experienced. I fail to comprehend the cult following that this flick has generated. This work is nothing short of absolute detritus. Sorry, I couldn't read. It doesn't even fall into the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes genre of good camp. What even is that?
It's a film.
I've never heard of that. This is supposed to be an art house parody of B horrors. It isn't art house. It isn't anything but completely unintelligent, overrated drivel. Having been written and directed by the cinematic equivalent of the Three Stooges,
Oof.
I expected nothing more. Good thing, because this attempt gives nothing more than the most disgusting display of prepubescent idiocy to which I have ever had the displeasure of being exposed. The producers and director in charge of these hokey, horrid, and even stupid effects should have been all burned at the stake. All caps.
Is that it?
That's it.
Holy shit.
This person went in.
They
were so angry
and
that they
are
watched this movie.
So fucking pretentious.
No, yeah. It's the detritus. It's the inane. It's the prepubescent idiocy.
Also, calling it a flick? Fuck off, please.
Overrated drivel. Like, oh my God. Hokey.
Could you just...
I don't know.
Art house? Fuck off. Please,
Right,
just
yeah.
fuck off.
Equivalent of the Three Stooges. No way does she call the Kyoto brothers the Three Stooges.
I swear. Some people take shit too seriously. This is supposed to be a fucking like haha film with like scary fucking clowns.
Yep.
Like it's supposed to be
it
silly.
so seriously. Like
You literally called it campy, and you literally called it camp and then said it was shit camp. It doesn't.
I don't
Your
know.
logic doesn't track.
I don't know.
You're thinking too hard, dude.
That's why I'm saying I was like I barely wanted to read that because I felt the anger from this person.
They were so mad.
Like, why wouldn't you just turn it off? Just turn it off. Don't even worry about it. If you're that angry to watch this movie,
stop watching it.
stop watching. Go watch some
And then why
Care
would
Bears.
you?
Go watch some Care Bears.
Why would you spend the time writing a fucking review if you hate it this much?
Right? And it's a long review
It's a
too.
thick ass review.
I don't know, but they hurt my brain bad. Anyway, that's all I got for 1-star reviews. People will remain funny, not even on purpose.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, I didn't find it to be that horrible of a movie. Like, at least not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because going into this, I was like, oh my God, Killer Klowns from Outer Space. No, please no.
We knew it was going to be weird as fuck.
Yeah.
We knew that this film was going to be weird as fuck.
Because I'd seen The House from HHN,
Mhm.
so I knew it was going to be something.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite what I expected.
No. It was different and
It
weird.
was different and weird, but it wasn't terrible.
It'll be an interesting
I don't
juxtaposition whenever we watch the It films.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then we can talk more about clown lore.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's a weird ass film.
Yes.
Watch it. Do not take it fucking serious, please.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Ooh,
I'm surprised it did get a 77 on Rotten Tomatoes because personally I wouldn't put it that high.
Oh.
But, you know, to each their own.
It's not terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So a 70.
Like, that's almost 80%. I would not.
like a
rate it like that.
75.
No.
74
I'd
maybe.
say maybe 65 for me.
Wow.
65 for me, personally. Maybe even 60. but I am one person.
Yeah.
I hope they are able to do something more with it, just so we can see how it evolves. But
yeah,
for now, this is all we got.
hell yeah, that's all
what
we have.
we'll take. Oh, but there was also like a little short film that was made to promote the Killer Klowns house for HHN. Like a little short film.
Yeah, always.
So it did come back a little bit, but
yeah.
And it features our favorite one, Shorty.
All right, guys. So our next episode is going to be our session 6. So look forward to that.
Woot woot.
And then you know what's up. Like, comment, subscribe.
Session 6. How many episodes do we have?
Girl, we have already passed the 20 mark.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Ding them bells. Check that shit out. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Horror Unmasked. Send us an email.
Yeah, let us know.
What do you think about the Killer Klowns films?
Let us know what you think about the Killer Klowns films. Let us know what you think about our podcast.
Let us know about the video game. Have you tried the video game?
Right.
Let us know what that was about.
Yeah, what's that like?
At horrorunmasked@gmail.com. Listen to us, Spotify, iTunes at Horror Unmasked Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube at Horror Unmasked Podcast. And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to ask. Will you fear?
Or will you fear not?